He was more than an artist. He was a revolutionary soul trapped in the body of a young black man. His story is not just about success and tragedy. It's about truth, courage, and the power of voice. Born in 1971, named after a Peruvian revolutionary. His mother, Afeni Shakur, fearless, political, poetic. The streets raised him, but the Panthers taught him purpose. Even before he could rhyme, he understood resistance. The roots of Tupac Shakur's revolutionary spirit and music were deeply embedded in his family's history of activism with the Black Panther Party. His exposure to systemic poverty and social injustice, and a diverse range of political and artistic influences. Family legacy of activism. Black Panther upbringing. Both of Tupac's biological parents, Afeni Shakur and Billy Garland, were active members of the Black Panther Party in New York. His mother, Afeni, was a prominent figure, notably representing herself in court and winning acquittal in the Panther 21 Inches case while pregnant with Tupac. His godfather, Geronimo Pratt, was also a high-ranking Panther leader. Revolutionary namesake. Born Lesane Parish Crooks, he was renamed Tupac Amaru Shakur at age 1, in homage to the 18th-century Peruvian revolutionary Tupac Amaru II, who led an uprising against Spanish rule. His mother intended the name to connect him to a legacy of indigenous revolutionary struggle. Political environment. Tupac grew up in an environment where political consciousness and struggle were central themes. Many of his mother's comrades were incarcerated or killed, shaping his outlook in the aftermath of the Black Power movement's decline. Artistic and philosophical influences. Poetry and performing arts. Tupac studied acting, jazz, and ballet at the Baltimore School for the Arts, where he honed his skills in poetry and performance. He incorporated these artistic skills into his music, blending storytelling with political commentary. Black Power poetry and music. He was influenced by the works of Black Power poets like Amiri Baraka and Gil Scott-Heron, as well as politically conscious rap groups such as Public Enemy and NWA Thug Life Philosophy. Tupac's Thug Life acronym, the hate you give little infants fucks everybody, was an extension of Black Panther ideals, serving as a code of conduct to unify and organize people in the streets against systemic oppression. Through his music and activism, Tupac updated the Black Panther message for the 1990s, using his platform to speak truth to power and inspire future generations to fight for social change. In Baltimore, Tupac found art, his escape from chaos. He learned acting, poetry, and expression. This is where he realized his weapon was his voice. He once said, "I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm real." He attended the Baltimore School for the Arts, where he studied acting, poetry, jazz, and ballet. This formal training honed his skills as a performer and writer. He performed in Shakespeare plays and excelled in poetry, even winning school rap competitions. Moving from New York to Baltimore and then to Marin City, California, exposed him to the harsh realities of poverty, gang violence, and drug abuse in inner-city communities. These first-hand experiences provided the authentic, gritty material that would define his thug life persona and powerful storytelling ability. He was an avid reader who drew inspiration from diverse sources, including Shakespeare, Sun Tzu's The Art of War, and Machiavelli's The Prince. Musically, he was influenced by a range of artists from Public Enemy and NWA to Marvin Gaye and U2, incorporating a wide array of samples and sounds into his work. Tupac was a master storyteller who focused on message and raw emotion over technical complexities. He could paint vivid, three-dimensional pictures of societal issues, like in Brenda's Got a Baby, that resonated deeply with listeners. Known for his intense work ethic, Tupac recorded music with a sense of urgency, often laying down multiple songs in a single session or finishing an entire album in just a few days. He prioritized getting his message out quickly, letting engineers handle the mixing and technical aspects. His ability to blend political commentary with nihilistic street anthems, and optimistic songs with angry tirades, made his art complex and authentic. This duality allowed him to connect with a wide audience across different social strata. His training in acting and dance gave him a magnetic stage and screen presence, further amplifying his impact as an artist and public figure. In essence, Tupac's artistry was forged in the intersection of intellectual and political consciousness, formal creative training, and the brutal realities of street life, all channeled through a persona of raw passion and an unparalleled work ethic. In 1991, the world heard his first roar, "Tupacalypse Now." It spoke of oppression, fear, and survival. Brenda's Got a Baby shook the conscience of a nation. Politicians called him dangerous. Youth called him their mirror. Tupac's music is widely recognized for its strong messages regarding He frequently addressed systemic issues like racism and police brutality. Despite highlighting harsh realities, his work also emphasized unity, resilience, and hope. Songs like "Dear Mama" are celebrated as praise songs for the strength of black mothers. Tupac Shakur did not use one specific phrase or salutation to start all of his messages or letters. His communication style, like his music, was diverse, raw, and personal, varying depending on the recipient and the message's content. In general, his communications reflected his genuine personality and the specific context. In private letters to friends or family, he used standard, personal salutations, such as addressing the person by their first name, e.g., "Dear Jada," in a poem for Jada Pinkett Smith. In his songs and public addresses, he often launched directly into his message, using powerful introductory lines or statements that set the tone for the social or political issues he was about to discuss. When speaking publicly, he would often start by directly addressing the audience, the media, or specific groups of people, sometimes with a casual, "Yo," or by simply jumping into the topic at hand. In essence, the start of his messages was less about a fixed phrase and more about an authentic, often intense, opening that immediately captured his state of mind or the issue at hand. Tupac became the new face of young black America, angry but intelligent, defiant but hopeful. He spoke of change, fatherhood, and the streets. Songs like "Keep Ya Head Up" reminded women of their worth. Tupac's art wasn't gangsta, it was gospel. Tupac lived as a revolutionary by using his music and activism to fight against social injustices like police brutality and racism, advocating for black pride and empowerment, and promoting unity and self-belief. He drew from a lineage of revolutionaries, most notably his mother Afeni Shakur, and channeled his experiences into art that spoke for the marginalized. His lyrics often directly addressed issues like police brutality and inequality, highlighting the harsh realities faced by his community. He delivered messages of hope and perseverance, with songs like "Keep Ya Head Up," encouraging his audience to believe in themselves and their potential. He told stories of systemic problems, such as the cycle of poverty and violence, as seen in songs like "Brenda's Got a Baby." He used his platform to call out corruption in government and police forces, which drew criticism but also garnered a massive following. As a teenager, he was an active member of a group that worked against police abuse and advocated for community control and political prisoners. He understood the need for collective action and worked to bridge divides, such as attempting to unite rival East and West Coast rappers and brokering peace between gangs like the Bloods and Crips. He saw his role as a voice for those who were overlooked, believing he was doing God's work by speaking to the struggles of ghetto kids. His activism was deeply rooted in his upbringing, with his mother, a former Black Panther, significantly shaping his political and social views. As an actor, Tupac shined, intense, emotional, real. In Juice, he became Bishop, raw and unforgettable. Hollywood wanted his fire, but fame came with a cost. He balanced two worlds, the poet and the outlaw. Tupac Shakur had a significant presence in Hollywood as a critically acclaimed actor and lived a complex life characterized by a public persona that contrasted with his more sensitive, private nature. This complexity is often described as a form of duality, rather than a traditional, double life. Tupac was an actor before he became a famous rapper, having studied acting, poetry, and ballet at the Baltimore School for the Arts. He found success in Hollywood with several notable film roles. His breakout role as the volatile and tragic character Roland Bishop earned him critical acclaim and established his acting potential. He starred opposite Janet Jackson in a role that showcased a softer, more romantic side, demonstrating his versatility as a performer. He played a gangster named Birdie in this basketball film, also contributing to the soundtrack. These later roles solidified his acting career, with Gridlock in particular receiving positive reviews for his performance. Many believed he would have had a long and successful acting career had he lived longer, and he was even considered for the role of Mace Windu in the Star Wars prequels. In recognition of his contributions to entertainment, he was posthumously awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2023. The idea of a double life in Tupac's context refers to the stark contradictions in his personality and lifestyle, which fascinated the public and are frequently explored in biographies and documentaries. The public, thug life, persona. In his later career, particularly after signing with Death Row Records, his public image embraced gangsta rap and the thug life persona, which involved legal troubles, public altercations, and an aggressive, volatile image. This image was influenced by his experiences growing up in poverty and his desire to expose the harsh realities of systemic injustice. The private, sensitive artist. Off stage, those who knew him described a highly sensitive, well-read, and thoughtful individual. He was a talented poet who loved Shakespeare, was known for his humor and loyalty to friends and family, and cared deeply about social activism and uplifting marginalized communities. He also displayed vulnerability in his music, such as in Dear Mama, a song dedicated to his mother. This duality between the hardened, street-savvy icon and the sensitive, intellectual artist is central to his enduring legacy and influence. Legal battles, betrayal, and imprisonment followed. The media called him violent. He called himself human. From his prison cell, he wrote some of his deepest poetry. "I'm a reflection of the society that created me," he said. Tupac Shakur's life was marked by significant personal hardship, numerous legal issues, and public conflicts, all set against a backdrop of systemic social challenges. Shakur's childhood was unstable, with his family frequently moving and living in poverty or homeless shelters. His mother, Afeni Shakur, and other family members were active in the Black Panther Party and faced government scrutiny and legal troubles, shaping Tupac's worldview and sense of social injustice from a young age. His mother struggled with drug addiction, particularly crack cocaine, which put a severe strain on their relationship and family life. Shakur experienced several run-ins with law enforcement, including an incident where he was beaten by Oakland police for jaywalking. He later sued the Oakland Police Department. He was involved in multiple altercations, including an on-set dispute that led to an assault charge against director Alan Hughes. He was involved in a self-defense shooting with two off-duty, intoxicated police officers in Atlanta. The charges were later dropped when it was found the officers initiated the confrontation with a stolen gun. In 1994, Shakur was convicted of first-degree sexual abuse, a charge he denied. He served 8 months in prison in 1995, during which his critically acclaimed album Me Against the World was released. He became the first artist to have a #1 album on the Billboard 200 while incarcerated. In November 1994, while awaiting the verdict on his sexual assault case, Shakur was robbed and shot 5 times in the lobby of a New York City recording studio. This shooting fueled his belief that his East Coast peers, including the notorious B.I.G. and Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, were involved in setting him up, which escalated the notorious East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry. Upon release from prison, he signed with Death Row Records, a label known for its volatile environment, and fully embraced the gangsta lifestyle and rivalries in his music and public persona. Out of prison, into the storm, Death Row Records. All Eyes on Me changed hip-hop forever. It was confidence, chaos, and genius in one package. Tupac became the most powerful rapper alive. Tupac Shakur's time with Death Row Records was a brief, intense, and pivotal period in his career, while the concept of his rebirth refers to the powerful and enduring legacy that emerged after his death, a cultural phenomenon that has kept his influence alive for decades. Tupac joined Death Row Records in October 1995 after the label's co-founder, Suge Knight, posted a $1.4 million bond to release him from prison on a sexual assault conviction. This move dramatically escalated the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry and led to an incredibly prolific final 11 months of his life. Shakur agreed to a 3-album deal in exchange for his bail being paid. All Eyes on Me, His first release for the label was a double album, which fulfilled 2 albums of his contract. It was a massive commercial success, selling over 10 million copies in the US alone and solidifying his status as a hip-hop icon. The 7-Day Theory. Recorded in a mere 7 days and released posthumously under the pseudonym Machiavelli, this album is his second and final project on Death Row, released with his creative input. His time at the label was marked by intense public feuds with East Coast rivals like the Notorious B.I.G. and Puff Daddy, which ultimately contributed to the tragic violence surrounding the label. He has become a symbol of possibility, resilience, and social consciousness. His poetry has been used in commercials, his music has been cited by the Vatican, and his themes align with modern social movements like Black Lives Matter. The primary cause of the feud between Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. was a 1994 shooting and robbery at a New York City recording studio, after which Tupac accused Biggie and his associates of involvement or prior knowledge. This personal conflict escalated into the widely publicized East Coast versus West Coast hip-hop rivalry, fueled by their competing record labels, the media, and a series of diss tracks. The Quad Studios Incident, 1994. Tupac was shot 5 times and robbed in the lobby of Quad Recording Studios, where Biggie and Sean, Puff Daddy, Combs were also present upstairs. Tupac was convinced they had orchestrated or known about the attack and didn't warn him, which destroyed their friendship and trust. Who Shot Ya? 1995. Shortly after the shooting, Biggie released the song, Who Shot Ya? Although Biggie and Combs claimed the song was recorded before the incident and wasn't about Tupac, Tupac interpreted it as a taunt and a public confirmation of his suspicions, further enraging him while he was in prison. Record label rivalry. Upon his release from prison, Tupac signed with the Los Angeles-based Death Row Records, a fierce rival of Biggie's New York-based label, Bad Boy Records. The heads of the labels, Suge Knight, Death Row, and Puff Daddy, Bad Boy, publicly traded insults and used the conflict as a marketing tool, intensifying the Coast War. Diss tracks and public insults. The rivalry played out publicly through music and interviews. Tupac's scathing diss track, Hit 'Em Up, 1996, directly attacked Biggie, Puff Daddy, and their entire crew, even claiming to have slept with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans. Media amplification. Magazines and media outlets sensationalized every aspect of the feud, turning a personal conflict into a national spectacle and encouraging fans and other artists to pick sides, making it harder for the two to reconcile privately. Gang ties. The conflict was further complicated by the alleged gang affiliations of the artists' entourages, Bloods for Death Row, Crips for Bad Boy, adding a dangerous street element to the music industry rivalry. In his final months, Tupac called himself Machiavelli, inspired by the Italian thinker Machiavelli. He spoke of betrayal, mortality, and rebirth. His last album, The 7-Day Theory, was recorded in 1 week. It sounded like prophecy. The 7-Day Theory. This is the official title of the album, with Machiavelli as the artist name. The album was released just 2 months after Tupac's death in September 1996, and was an immediate commercial success. The lyrics are known for their raw intensity, emotional depth, and what some perceive as prophetic messages, dealing with themes of betrayal, struggle, and a defiant spirit. The album, featuring tracks like Hail Mary and To Live and Die in LA, is considered a powerful final artistic statement from Tupac and the first of many successful posthumous releases. September 7, 1996. Tupac is gunned down after a boxing match. He dies 6 days later at 25. The case remains unsolved, shrouded in mystery and myth. The world lost its loudest voice of truth. Tupac Shakur's last moments in Las Vegas were on September 7, 1996, when he was shot in a drive-by shooting while in a car at the intersection of East Flamingo Road and Koval Lane. The shooting occurred shortly after he was involved in a brawl at the MGM Grand Casino with Orlando Anderson, which police believe was the motive for the retaliation. Tupac died 6 days later on September 13, 1996, from his injuries. After leaving the Mike Tyson boxing match, Tupac and Suge Knight were in a BMW that was stopped at a red light. A white Cadillac pulled up alongside them, and shots were fired from the back window. Tupac was hit 4 times and transported to University Medical Center. He had a lung removed and was on a respirator before passing away on September 13, 1996. Knight was grazed but survived with minor injuries. A confrontation at the MGM Grand between Tupac's entourage and Orlando Anderson, an associate of a rival gang, is believed to have led to the shooting. Tupac punched Anderson after being informed of a prior robbery attempt by Anderson. Two decades later, Tupac's words still inspire revolutions. Artists from every generation, Kendrick, Cole, Eminem, carry his torch. Universities teach his poetry. Activists quote his speeches. He became the blueprint for fearless art. Tupac's legacy is built on his influential role as a rapper, actor, and activist who spoke candidly about his experiences with poverty, systemic injustice, and racial inequality. His influence is seen in his music sales, lasting impact on other artists like Kendrick Lamar and Eminem, and continued cultural resonance through his quotes and sampled work. His art continues to be a source of inspiration, and he remains a prominent symbol of hope, resilience, and the struggle for justice for many. He is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 75 million records sold worldwide. His lyrics are known for being raw, honest, and poetic, addressing themes of racism, poverty, and the struggles of marginalized communities. Countless artists across different genres cite him as a major influence, and his work continues to be sampled in contemporary music. He is recognized as a cultural icon whose image and messages remain relevant today and continue to inspire new generations of artists and fans. His lasting impact is evidenced by his posthumous induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Tupac used his platform to shed light on pressing issues such as racial inequality and police brutality, making him a social icon beyond just his music. He is seen as a voice for the oppressed and a symbol of struggle and resistance for his ability to articulate the challenges of his generation. His dedication to effecting positive change through his art resonated with a wide audience, and his words are still invoked in discussions about social issues. Tupac once asked, "Do you see me? Do you feel me?" The answer, from every corner of the world, is yes. He was not just a rapper. He was a revolution in rhythm, a man who turned pain into purpose. And though the body is gone, the message lives forever.